Alright guys, so welcome to my channel again. This is Tyler from Crafted Nexus Creations. This is a video tutorial of how to assemble the urn that I sell in my Etsy shop. As of right now I don't have, I don't have it up for sale for someone else to assemble. I usually just assemble it myself. But I figured to take some time off my hands, I would go ahead and offer it non-assembled, and I just provide all of the engraved wood and hardware that goes along with it in order to make it. So here I'm just kind of showing how to start off the assembly portion. So yeah, you start off with the middle portion, and you just add glue to all the contact areas, and from there you do the rest. So I'm gonna stop talking for the next couple minutes and let you guys kind of watch. So from here you pretty much just kind of clamp everything to make it a nice tight seal and make sure that glue holds everything together. Clamps are, like, for the big ones, might be like $5 at Walmart. They're pretty cheap. You might have a neighbor or a friend having some lying around that you could borrow. I didn't have enough, so I had to jerry rig it with 2 smaller clamps, and then I think I ended up finding a bigger one. That one didn't have a top on it, or a top screw, so I had to change that around. But either way, yeah, you just kind of clamp everything down, wipe off all the glue so you don't get a lot of glue residue at the end. I didn't complete this whole entire video because it's a whole process. You have to wait for the glue to dry and come back to it later on, and yeah, it's a lot. So what I do with my urns usually is I'll add an oil finish at the very end. That way it really brings out the grain and the color of the walnut. Here I'm describing where you need to put glue, and it's actually sometimes better to just use your regular finger than having a glove on. And sometimes no finger at all. You just douse it with glue. I think I ended up using Q-tips later on for some of the other parts of the urn. But yeah, from there you just go ahead and stick that on and clamp it down. Make sure you get it nice and tight. And from there, clean it off with more paper towel. Get that glue off of there. Look at that double chin. Anyway, after you're done with that, just stick it over there to the side and continue on with the assembly of the rest of the stuff. Oh yeah, I use masking tape when I engrave. That way I don't get a burn on the engraving. And then I use the Gorilla Tape to take off the masking tape instead of sitting there and picking at it. It's a nice little trick, and then you have a nice clean engraving. So I'm just double checking, making sure I have it on the right side, and then I'll add some glue to all the spots. There's the Q-tip. I went and got some. I was like, yeah, make things easier, Q-tip. Alright, cool. Nope, not doing that. Gotta add everything up in there first. Make sure you're putting everything on the right side. Look at the top, make sure you're assembling everything properly. Boom. I had to figure out what I was doing next. I don't think I let this thing dry enough, but it ended up still being okay. Good enough to work with. So you want to make sure you assemble those two side pieces onto the little hinges or the little things that stick out, because otherwise you'll end up not being able to put it on. This design isn't the most fun to assemble, but once it's together it looks really cool. So yeah, you just want to make sure everything's tight. Clean off any extra glue that comes out. It's a whole process, but it's, you know, it's kind of cool. Be kind of cool to build your own urn for a loved one or a pet. The reason why I'm originally doing this video is because someone had reached out last month for a urn that they could put together, and like I would ship it out in a smaller package that would make things like be much cheaper because they were in Mexico. And I told them I'd make a video of like how to assemble it and put it all together and all that stuff. Since then they haven't really reached back out, but it might be, you know, something someone else might want. You know, drop the price, keep it, you know, urns can get up there in price. My grandpa, when he bought his, it was just like a piece of wood, and it was like $500 or something like that. So if I could have at the time, I would have made him one, but I wasn't even making anything. I was working for someone else, and yeah. So yeah, you put all the sides on and the back, and then you clamp it down. Once again, right after that, you just want to wipe off all the glue. And that's the final product. I didn't get to put the triangle part on in the middle, but it's literally just glue it on. From there, you know, you have to screw in your hinges and the fancy little top pieces. And then if you wanted the oil, you would get walnut oil or the mineral oil, or if you're fancy, you can throw some resin. If you work with resin, throw some resin on there and it'll look nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys.